Red card. Welcome everybody. Sorry, too soon. Ha 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 ha. Ferrari won surprisingly. But anyways, everybody, welcome. Sunday. We have a little bit of a
Not
weekend to
surprising.
digest. Um,
Trash
I'm
talk already.
diabolical. Yes. Suck it, Vikings fans. But anyways, before I get segued even more
Stuck in
into my
Giants fans.
fuck the Giants, into my shenanigans here. Sorry, Sal. We love you. No, he's a Dolphins fan. But we're here to break down the pragmatism in full display yesterday against Lazio. We'll give Dave a couple of minutes to shout out because Ferrari finally got a 1-2 pole in the Formula One. It's a rare occurrence that you see Charles Leclerc and Smooth Operator finishing 1-2. It's only happened one other time this year, so we'll talk about that
By the way,
briefly.
which is decent to finish one too. Like
That's hard
to
for any team.
It
it's
is,
hard for any team to do it twice.
unless you're
Like,
McLaren.
I mean, they struggle to do
uh,
it. They even
uh,
struggle to do it, man.
They're trying to finish
damn.
1A, 1B. That's what they're trying to do. P1A, P1B.
Let's not start with McLaren. Man. I'm still too angry.
I know. Well, that's what happens when you show up Marseille picture in front of me before we start.
Hey,
The streets.
I'm okay. My prediction is alive.
David
But
and
all
Dax
right.
are just gonna fight. They're just gonna fight it out. I'm just happy. I'm
Yeah.
celebrating.
Hey,
I'm basking in the
Hey,
Ferrari win.
I'm with you, man. It's nice hearing the Italian national anthem.
Yeah,
Like
you
a
know,
Ferrari win is a win for Formula One fans, I guess.
you got to do some charity outreach every now and then. You have to give some points out to unfortunate folks. But before I get into
And
more jabs,
we talked about F1 immediately. Like two people
It's
like
so fresh. It just
left
happened.
left the stream.
but here to join me, we have Canadian Bacon Dave and we have German Sausage Dave. How are you guys?
I love me some sausages.
I don't like Canadian bacon though. And what makes it Canadian? I eat the normal bacon.
It's thin. It's not thick.
It's weird. It's like it's ham. It's
Does
basically ham. It's
like
weird.
doesn't Canadian bacon just mean it came from Canadian pigs? Like, is there a
No,
specific?
No, it's just the way they cut it. It's like it's super thin slices of
ham.
ham. It's ham.
Yeah,
It's literally
ham.
ham. There's no
It's ham.
difference.
It's stupid. It's dumb. Let's move on.
Yeah, the last.
Hey, because like from what I know, like bacon is bacon. I didn't know there's like so many variants to it because it's like pork belly and cut into strips. I don't know what the variants are on it.
We gotta at least go for about an hour before we waffle down the Waffle House.
So here, let me throw it here. Then, what do you guys want to open up with? You want to open up Juve Lazio? You want to talk a little bit about Ferrari? What do you want to do?
Well, I think most people are here to
talk about Liverpool. I watched Bayern, rewatched Bayern versus Stuttgart today. Like Bayern completely demolished Stuttgart and looking like the best team in Germany and one of the best in Europe. By the way,
we're going to look ahead to Stuttgart, of course, and their embarrassing loss this weekend, which could go one of two ways. They either get pissed off and come back at us, try to take some aggression out, or they're just they just roll over and die.
I don't know with how pragmatic we are. I don't know.
I can get into it in the Stuttgart segment if we look ahead of it.
Well, let's not look ahead too far. Let's get over the Lazio thing. Let's talk about it. There honestly isn't too much to talk about in the grand scheme of like a post game recap because we just kicked the ball around for like.
No, there is. There is. No, there is. You get a red card. That game pissed me off.
No, it's a piss off for sure.
I'm honestly
we did nothing is what I'm saying. We did nothing with it.
I've said like this issue for this team is they have no plan B for a low block. They don't. Like the only ways that they're able to penetrate or break through the low block is if they get a penalty or not even if you get a red card. They couldn't even do it with a red card. It had to be an own goal that broke the deadlock. But the fact that minute 24, Romagnoli, I don't give a shit what Serie A wants to bitch about. That's a red card. 100% a red card any day. 100%. You be getting gifts. Oh, Lazio.
No, that was
a river.
That was 100% a red card. We can get into the reffing that actually went in our favor. I'm gonna say.
Oh my god! Also, Dash Baby, because we talked like before the show started, do the referee in Liverpool versus Chelsea. Oh my god, atrocious!
So another week where we're gonna just trash refs.
England.
Is what we're
What do you
saying.
expect?
Every
Yeah.
week by now, dude. It's every week. It's crazy.
The replacement refs. So this is where I sit there and I think to myself, oh, I'm like, I'm watching it. I'm like, all right, 25th minute. Shit, we just got to put one in, relax a little bit, and then go for a second. And I'm watching it any minute now. Any minute now. Any minute now. And by the time, it was the 85th, 86th minute, I was like, thank fucking hell, man.
Really, though. It's like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
like-
finally.
Because this is where I look at it and it's just like, this is no different than last season. The only difference is you have more possession. This is where I'm starting to come to this conclusion in my thoughts. Is that like with last season, it was, our defenders are getting like squeaky goals. They're squeaking by with like some cheese goals essentially. And that's how we ended up in not first, but challenging for first by December. Right now, we are 4-4. And like the games that we drew, most teams I think the collective expected goals of all 4 of them is roughly around 1 of us scoring, by the way. So, like, we've created enough chances, roughly about 1. So it's like I look at the possession stats, it's about 67, 68%. But, like, for example, I look at it. Napoli, we should have won. Napoli was not trying to score that game. Empoli, we should have won that game again. Roma, don't even get me started with Roma. We should have won that game at home again. And then I look at last week's game, another game we should have taken. And I look at it again, and it's like, it's almost like it's the same thing over and over again. And I hope, and this is where my concern is that the in-game adjustments, that's where I'm starting to get really concerned. Like we can take Europe out of the equation. I mean, strictly Serie A.
Support your point. Just to support your point. Like goal scoring is an actual issue because from the top 10, only Udinese scored 1 goal less than us. They scored 10, we scored 11, and the others are then Napoli with 15, then Milan 16, Lazio 14, Atalanta 18 goals. Like the other teams are like actually scoring, and our goal scoring, if it doesn't improve, like it's an actual issue coming up.
And to make matters worse, out of the 11 that we scored, 3 were penalties. So only 8 in open play. 8 goals
but only
in open
one
play.
but only 1 goal scored against us, and that was from the penalty spot. So
Best in Europe, by the way.
Yes, I mean, what does it remind you of?
It reminds me of last season because you can only hold it for so long. No, but in reality,
it's Allegri though. It's Allegri-esque.
Oh, it is. No, 100% it is. No, this is. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It's just a reverse form of pragmatism.
No, we were expecting it though. Like,
because that's what we expected. I wasn't gonna sit here and say like I expect this. This tiki taka, this free flowing ball. It's, hey, let's keep everything stabilized and let's let our players make plays. But the problem is when your players can't make plays because, like, for example, you look at this roster and it's like, okay, great. Without Coop Myers, look at that. Your entire midfield creativity is gone. You start seeing the Locatelli of last year, who isn't that creative monster that everyone kept hyping him up to be for the past couple of weeks. And then, like, for example,
creative. He's just a grinder. He just grinds.
He's not, exactly. No, I understand, but like, everyone was kind of singing the whole renaissance and resurgence of Locatelli, and it's like it's because you have somebody else doing the things that he was supposed to do last year.
Which is fun because that's what you want. That's midfield composition. That's cool.
Exactly. But the problem is like when you don't have suitable replacements for the individual piece, it's not good. Because, like, for example, with Inter, I'm going to use Inter as an example because guess who got a very, very crucial goal against Roma in Rome? The guy that, he only had 2 goals this season. Well, guess what? Lautaro Martinez does what big players do, break deadlocks in important matches. Scored the goal, and now Lautaro's starting to get warm. While Lautaro was struggling, Thuram picked it up. Their midfield picked it up. They covered the slack. Now when the role reverses, when Thuram is injured or has issues, now Lautaro's working and doing it. With us, it's like, okay, great. If Coop Myers is on the field, sure, great. We have that decisive ball or that decisive pass. When Coop Myers is not there, we look like a mediocre team, like a mid-table team. And it's no different than it was last season. Again, the difference is we played a 3-5-2. This year, we're playing a 4-2-3-1. Yeah, we got a couple of 3-0 wins, those 3-goal games. Same thing in the month of January. We were dropping 5-goal games, 4-goal games. It was euphoria. But the problem is now, and you're starting to see this because, like, for example, I watched Lazio yesterday, and Lazio said, take the ball. You're not going to do shit with it. That's what Lazio did. That was their attitude the entire game. And we didn't. Like, to be honest with you, kudos to Cabal for putting that laser beam cross, but you had to force a laser beam cross to have a poke into their own net. That was your breakthrough. I'm not going to hang this on Dusan. Sure,
no, that wasn't Dusan's fault today.
I'm not.
Yesterday.
No, he wasn't serviced properly.
I'm not hanging it on him because he's not that kind of guy. Unfortunately, he's the cherry on top striker, not the Lautaro-esque striker. So I'd be disingenuous for me to hold that to that expectation. So it's like I look at it and it's poor. Same thing again. Like, for example, Yildiz. If Yildiz is the main guy, I question if Yildiz is really the main offensive option right now, because if there's a Coop Myers, if there's another player there to take the pressure off him, sure, he's great on isolations and whatnot. But yesterday, nope, he struggled. Moments I was like, is he playing? Is he not playing? Weah didn't offer anything at all, which I don't know why Weah isn't being utilized to push forward or attack the space behind or do things like that.
The front three were completely out of it.
It was terrible.
Yeah, they just were non-existent, essentially. I'll bring it up here. I'll show you. Like, the team did well, except essentially the front three. Why not? Here we go. And Cambiasso, he ended up moving back to the right back position. But look, just 6.7, 6.7. Locatelli, 6.8. Savona, 6.9. Like, everyone else did okay, but like the front were just and they got nothing. So Weah came in and I think, they'll show Weah 6.9. Same thing. Didn't do anything. Adjic, I forgot he showed up. Danilo did okay. He did what he had to do, right? Fajoli, similar. But like the front three, doesn't matter who it was, nothing. And that's the theme. Low block, our front three can't create.
You get neutralized. They just
what do you do? What do you do?
It's not. So here's the thing with it when it comes down to this, right? Scheming wise, you can scheme as much as you want. The issue is Juve don't know how to mask, or they don't know how to bait and switch. This is the term, right? So, like, for example, I'll draw a quick play. So, because I did this Friday when I was playing, and it worked really well. So, like, we were able to win. So when you want to do a bait and switch, when a team is expecting something, so like, for example, we had two strikers on our team that were really good as far as hold up play. Like, for example, they can play off each other and hold up. So what the opposing team was like, okay, great. So when that happens, just delete the whole thing. So it's our center back, or I'll just put this here. So it's our goalie, center back, other center back. It's 7-side. So this is me right here. This is me up here. This is the other midfielder. And then these are our two strikers. So then I'll play the other team here. So most teams that we're playing against are playing like this. So strategically, one of the things that I wanted to do was I could tell that the other team was expecting us to play short to these guys. So essentially what I would do is they thought I was going to play in this attacking role. So like we would push up, etc. Their striker would kind of push a little bit deeper. They were expecting me to push here to facilitate play because these guys will push up a little bit here. So what I did was I did what I like to call the bait and switch. So I actually swapped and played deep and let my center defensive mid play forward to intercept the ball. So what would happen is these guys are trying to connect and do a play, right? So this guy's already down here. So he's out of the play effectively. I have this space right here. So what it was we're masking it to make it look like we're playing tiki-taka. So what would happen is, so say that 7 gets dispossessed. So 3 is on the ball, the opposing 3. So what 5 would do is 5 would force the ball or force the ball carrier to come in line to where I am. So we were trying to force him to take a heavy touch here. So he would dribble, 5 would try to cut him off here, and then you would see the ball. It would loosen up right here. So then I would step up and take possession. So as I'm already moving up to take the ball, to win the ball back, my strikers are going behind their center backs and going into the box. So for me, then it would just be a one touch over the top into their foot and a goal. We won 10-2 by doing that. They had they couldn't adjust, because what we were doing is we were masking what we were showing or how we were pushing forward with the ball, because we had the ball, we had possession. However, it wasn't that we were attacking in possession, it was we were attacking off possession. Because what would happen is he would switch sides of the field, I would switch over here, or like, for example, there would be some plays where I would switch over like this, and etc., right? We were masking different ways to play or different ways to dissect the line, and that caught them off guard, because then it would get to the point where they're like, oh, damn it, it's the same through ball, same this, oh man. Because the issue is we stifled them because they didn't know how we were going to approach it. And with Juve right now, Lazio, everybody knows how they're going to go through. The ball goes to Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz passes it wide, passes it to Yildiz. Yildiz passes it back, switch it back over. So there's no, and this is partially on the players mostly too, where there isn't like an understanding of, hey, maybe if we do this or do this to catch them. Because a lot of the stuff, when it comes to breaking a low block, you need to give that team that's in the low block a false sense of security. So like what we were doing is that I was playing 10 to 15 meters away from my center mid, because I wanted to give them the illusion that if they beat my center mid, they're going to start a counterattack on us. That's what I wanted to do, because for them, my thought was this: if I get them to sit there and think they have space, guess what happens? You take a heavier touch. You kind of beat the ball out a little bit farther forward, because you think you can beat the center back off of momentum. They start thinking those stuff. But the problem is, I already know that. So that's why I'm masking my position. So when that heavy touch happens, or when that heavy pass happens, I cut it off immediately. And then I already know, and my strikers already know, and that was what I told them. The moment I am in possession or within possession of the ball, it's coming to you one touch. I'm not taking a touch. I'm lofting it over the center backs. They understood that. They open it up over the center backs. It's a flick with a header, flick with your foot. It's a goal. So to bring this back into a Juve sense, I'm not seeing that from the players, because that's stuff the players need to do. Motta can scheme it. He can say, guys, try to do this, try to do that. But it's also on the pitch that the players need to have the IQ to understand, hey, maybe we should do this to bait and switch to do this. Because right now, from what I've seen, this team is heavily dependent on individual creativity, which is great for those tight-knit games where you need someone to make a play. But the issue is if you're consistently relying on individual brilliance, and by individual brilliance, I mean dribbling through a guy, nutmegging a guy, outside the box finesse shot, stuff like that, then you're struggling. Because when I look at this roster and I look at it from an IQ and an intelligence perspective on how to do and execute that stuff, there's only one guy that can do that. And he has bruised ribs right now. Because the thing is like, for example, and people can say Fagioli, but I don't see much in Fagioli
No,
right
I
now.
think Fagioli has the talent, but I haven't seen a lot of that IQ. Like, he has the talent in his foot. We know he's capable of those deadly passes, but we don't see them when he's on the field. Like, his vision is still limited. Now he's 22 years old, I believe, so it may still come. And yes, it's more difficult to break down a low block in Italy than in other leagues as well, because like the Italian teams mastered that art. But yeah, Cope, like 100%, he has that vision and the ability, and Fagioli has just the ability, I fear.
Because this is, again, it's a recurring theme that I'm seeing with almost every single game that we're playing with.
Yep.
If we're not systematically winning the ball and scoring early to open up the opposing team, so we're able to, dice and go through it by counter pressing and counter attacking. And now, again, when you're at Juve, you've got more eyes on you. You've got more people trying to scout and scheme on how to shut you down. And unfortunately, right now, what I've seen is Motta just has one plan, and that's it. And that's where I hold Motta a little bit accountable for, is he does not have great adjustments. Because, like, for example, even with Leipzig was kind of throw the kitchen sink and see if it works, and it works, right?
Also that individual moment by Conceição.
And as well as Dusan for shooting outside the box, right?
Yeah,
there wasn't
100%.
So there wasn't, like, for example, there wasn't moments where it's just like, there isn't, like, I've yet to see where there's like a real, like, tactical, like, oh wow, these players really adjusted like this to compensate for X, Y, and Z. Because, like, for example, when I looked at Motta when he went up against, I want to put in air quotes, right, the best coaches in Syria, or good coaches. I look at Conte. Conte didn't really try to test anything. Conte was like, let's try to get a point here. It's a little bit early in the season. I'm in Turin. If I can get 1 point in Turin, 3 in Naples, we're good. That's the objective for Conte. Like, he's like, if I can get 1 in Turin, 3 in Naples, we've got 4 points off Juve. Because there wasn't really much. He didn't try to do much. Didn't really give you much. De Rossi. Let me sit all the way back. Let me see if I can get a point. We didn't start well. We need to just get points and just go from that. Those are the only two big teams you've played. Empoli, again, Empoli's like, hey, let's throw it back. Let's lock her down and see if something happens. They were able to get through with it. So it's like, when I look at that, right, I struggle to see it, because what was the issue that was there last season, right? Midfield goals. No midfield take control of the game. And outside of Koopmeyers, there isn't that right now. Because Conceição, Gonzalez, Dusan, Kenan, those guys are expected to make plays because they're forwards. The problem is your midfielders are not able to facilitate. I don't want to say facilitate, because facilitate's one thing, but take that extra mile to make crazy plays, to make that 40-yard pass, to catch the defense out off guard, to understand how the players are shaping up and directing flow outside Coop. And then that's why, like, for example, and that's why on Thursday I was kind of like, well, shit, if Pogba gives you the discount, fuck it, take him. Because he has the vision and the creativity in his right foot more than that entire roster. Maybe if Douglas Luiz gets his act together, maybe Dougie can be that guy.
Well,
but you saw it.
Dougie needs to be talked about here, because he rightfully could have been ejected from the game on a couple occasions.
Could have, but he didn't.
But he didn't. So this bastard got lucky again. This could have been 3 games in a row where he done fucked up. Now, technically he did. He just didn't get caught for it, because there was a punch to the ribs that he didn't get called for, and there was the high studs that he didn't get called for a couple minutes later. And like, I mean, he had a decent game for the most part. Like, he didn't do anything bad per se. But then he just like lost it and just started throwing punches. It's like, what are you doing, man? What are we doing this?
Here's my thoughts on that. Coming from the Premier League, coming into Serie A, where Serie A is physical and it's tactical. Like, it's a gritty physicality. It's not like the Premier League, shoulder truck this, run over here and do that. So for him, there's a bunch of factors in it. Him not settling is probably taking a toll on him mentally. It's rattling him a little bit. And then it's like, also, there's that, and then also being hacked and being bumped. And because when you play in Serie A, if you look at like some of the stuff that's not called that goes on, it's common. It's a normal thing. So I think there's that and him losing his cool. And then, like, for example, him coming home and his house being practically robbed doesn't help him either.
Okay, well, that's after the fact, and yes,
I think
that's worth mentioning.
For Dougie, I think there is like a culmination of like multiple things, right?
I still think he will figure it out though. Like, he is still, as a talent, like such an amazing talent, and even though he's not the tallest guy, like he has that midfielder like strength. Like he's like he perfected it at Aston Villa, because Aston Villa like was familiar with playing, for example, in low block, and sometimes he played that deepest sitting midfielder, and even with his smaller stature, like he was bossing people off. So he has the strength, and I think like he has all the talent to adjust to Serie A. We have to give him time, and I think like this game he wasn't bad at all. Like, yes, he had, of course, like the those moments that are in question, but overall, I think like if you give him minutes, he will get better by the minutes. Like, he will learn to adjust to the game, how to hold his but or how to push his body into the other guy.
Well, he's going to get minutes if Coop's not playing. That's for damn sure.
Yep.
He's going to have to, and he's going to have to show up big, and tighten her down, because if he starts doing this in Stuttgart, and we got issues.
That Inter game coming up now is going to be a huge benchmark game. Huge.
And there's that I don't even want to start thinking about that. I want to get through Tuesday first. Then,
I get it. But that's where, like, for example, that's going to be a huge thing for Mota, because like the question is right now, it's like, and folks, don't take this the hard way, but schematically wise, he hasn't really done anything to wow anybody. It's more so the players that he has.
Only 4 substitutions again yesterday. I mean, throw Ruhi on for 2 minutes, whatever. Like, do something. Just utilize your like, get that rotation. Why not? Give Cambiasso a couple minutes.
But maybe also he doesn't want to mess with the flow too much. Like, if you for example have a defensively very stable team, and defensively it was amazing again. Like, there was barely any danger from Lazio, and if you start playing around with it, like,
it's not the first time.
No, I agree, but Motta, like, evidently, in my opinion, it looks like he thinks defense first, but with a playing style, and that is why we are building up like very cautiously when we have the ball. Like, we aren't even building up as quick as he did with Bologna.
That's the thing; it's too cautious. The play style is too cautious. His substitutions are too cautious. Just,
Max.
And that's one thing.
Max. It's a possession Max.
Max knew when to throw something at the window. Like, he said, "Fuck it, let's go," and you're just throwing, I don't know, Alexandro for 5 minutes.
Whoever,
right?
Alexandro, which costed us in a couple of games. No, my thought of it is just, you don't need to do all the substitutions if you don't think they will change the stability of your team.
Don't tell me in the press conference then that we have to rotate the squad because we're playing in 2 days. Like, come on. Anyways, it's the half-hour mark. I am opening up the lines. There's the link in the description, in the chat. There it is.
No, and again, to make this clear too, it's not like we're saying that Motta sucks and we should have never fired Max.
No, absolutely
it's
not,
just,
man.
I think the idea is, again, it's a similar approach to what he did. Yep. And I'm not seeing, like, for example, the issue is, for me, when I have an issue with the manager, is when I see that the manager does not have a schematic option to effectively negate a problem that he has.
Or maybe just too many injuries.
Or that. But again, I look at it, and it's the same day every week, every other day, it's a low block. And I have not seen any different approaches to it at all. And again, obviously you can argue and you can say, it's only October, right? We'll get it eventually. It's fine, right? Because, like, for example, the one thing that Max did very, very well is Max knew how to beat low blocks, force them in a false sense of security, slash them out wide, only for Chiesa to turn the ball over because he forgot that he's supposed to play in the middle of the field. There's your Chiesa joke for the week. But again, like for example, sometimes again you need to bait teams, because if we're a great counter pressing team, give Lazio the ball. If that's a strength to your system.
But that's not his style either. To give the opponent the ball. Oh
Yeah,
damn!
Dave's
Damn,
camera went too hot.
Dave
Damn,
overheat.
4K overheated Dave. But because I look at it, because one of the things, right? One of the things was his ability to win the ball back, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so why not put pockets of moments where you're going to let the other team have possession just for you to counter press and win it back? So that's where I look at this, and it's just like I don't understand the logic in that with what he does and how he does it, because it's just like you're not playing to your team's strengths. Because like for example, when you have 65% possession, then you're playing like a tiki-taka, or you're playing like a Spanish style or a Guardiola style, where you're either berating balls into the box, creating chances, just slapping stuff in, but you don't see that with this group. So we're just holding possession for what? For one chance, two chances a game? So that's where I'm like, what is the point of holding it instead of give it to Lazio? Let Lazio think they have an opportunity to an attack, and then you bait and you switch them. And maybe there's something behind the scenes that I don't know why that we're not seeing something like this executed. Because, like, for example, here's one of the things that has worked quite well for this Motta's Juve. It is McKennie. Because McKennie coming in out of nowhere and blindsiding a player with a tackle and winning the ball back sets up almost all of our open play goals
Yeah.
in
Also,
recent memory.
what we underestimate, like a player like Weston McKennie. Like I know, like from all the games I visit with a stadium that has like around like 50K fans, like every single game in and out. Like if you have a player that is slide tackling from out of nowhere, or bosses the guy off the ball, or receives the ball and somehow like dribbles to like in between two or three people, and McKennie like sometimes has that like dark energy where he dribbles through the whole midfield. No, Vlad, this game didn't need Rabiot today because he was the second worst rated player for Marseille today, even though they won 5-0. No, just to go back to McKennie, like he is one of those players that number one energizes your team because it hypes you up when you have a teammate that is slide tackling, winning the ball and everything, that cleans up and also like has those magical dribbles sometimes to the touchline and that one pass or cross into the box. But also what we underestimate, it energizes the crowd as well. And
It
in
does.
in a lot of games, like where you push the team you are playing against into their own box, and you circulate the ball around their box, and they don't know what's coming to them, and you have the crowd playing into the game, playing into it as well, then you're creating that magic that I don't know, for example, who of you watched Manchester City today? Manchester City had, what was it, 60 or 70% possession against Wolverhampton. They conceded that early goal on the counter attack, but what did they do? Like in the second half, they played the whole game around the box. Like they were faking runs into the box. Like Wolverhampton had to be alert, like on every single damn pass. And if you do that time after time after time after time again, you one pass eventually gets through. And with Manchester City, who evidently have the talent to do that, but also they didn't have Kevin De Bruyne, for example. Their midfield today was Mateo Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, and Gündogan. So there was no De Bruyne today, and their passing was still incredible. And then they forced that late corner that eventually gave them the winner. But it also took the energy out of the Wolverhampton crowd, for example. Like if you are on an away game, you also take the energy out of the crowd, in addition to hyping your team up yourself and having that energy and to go for that win. Like Manchester City did that today, for example. And we are not that kind of team yet to have that position and circulate the ball around the box and to catch a team out. But I think with number one, the talent is getting better. I think no one is doubting that we have way better individual talent this season than last season. If we get the chemistry right, I think we have the ability to play like a similar style. Like if we push the opponent into the box, I think we can do that. And also, I think that is why we are not pressing as high. For example, when the opponent has the ball, or when we lose it, we are not like pressing immediately with two men, because it's still too risky to get caught out. Like if they get or the opponent get through our first pressing line, I think we are still a bit shaky. Like we can get caught off guard. It's a completely new system, and the players like still need to adjust. And I think maybe that could be a reason why we're not pressing that high yet and go up with that energy to win the ball back.
I think it's partially that. I think also partially there's this whole thing like, oh my goodness, we got to keep this low conceded thing or goals conceded as much as possible, because I think what this is showing is I think they're masking something. I think there's an issue with the defense, and I think they're trying to mask it by just holding the ball as much as they can and not doing anything with it.
That's my thought. That's why we are also not pressing that high.
So I think that's part of it, because like for example, when you look at the Man City stats, 7 shots on target, we only had 3. Our first one was in the 81st minute.
Yep.
So like that again, Man City's playing away from home. They put 22 shots total, 7 on target. Put 7 on target, 2 are going in, 1 are going in. We only had 3. So, and even then, 1 was Dusan curling something from outside the box, trying to at least force something. That was the first shot. I think it was the 81st minute. Then I think it was like a header, and then I think this one counts because Cabal shoots it at net. I don't know how sticklers, but there was only 2 or 3 shots on top. So it's like you look at that, and it's just like there's nothing there, and it's almost like, great, we had 546 passes, 69% ball possession. But at the end of the day, Lazio had 1 shot on target to our 3. There's not much of a discrepancy there. It's like apples and oranges when you look at it from that regard, where it's like Man City, you look at the stats there, 7 shots on target. Like, for example, when they have 70% possession, they have 70% possession. Yeah. They're peppering you.
It is also like every percent of that possession is putting pressure on the opponent. Yeah.
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? Despite with the own goal, Provedel has one of the higher ratings. One of the higher ratings on the pitch.
Oh, yeah.
And he only made 2 saves.
Oh, huge saves, though. He definitely came out huge when it mattered. I mean, horrible angle, really, this clip, but
and his expected goals was a 0.39. So it wasn't like he made crazy, ridiculous saves.
And apparently Gil as well was suffering from some muscle fatigue at this point, and they had used all their subs, and he was just a mess. So, I mean, but I even said it during the lives. Like, at this point, they're blocking so damn low. Just toss shit into the box, dribble into the box. Something's gonna give. And this is it. Just throw shit at the net, make something happen.
I think they're just afraid to take the risk. I think the players are afraid to take the risk.
There's no risk. It's like we're a bunch of grannies.
Because I look at it last season, and it's like okay, great. Like Chiesa would fuck up his runs and run into somebody, but at least like the intent was there. God, I defended Chiesa.
Yeah, but no. Honestly, I think you're wrong on it, because how many times did it end up in a counter attack for the opponent, which is not happening right now.
Oh, with Chiesa being a dummy, but because that's where I don't know. Is it because, like, for example, sure, the opponent, how many of those counterattacks are, like, for example, Max designed it to be that way so he could try to hit them back with something? Because, like, for example, Max is the kind of guy where I think it was Swab he put on there, like, we'll have it where let's force a set piece and then we'll throw Gatien out of nowhere for the set piece to get it. Because, like, for example, with Max, a lot of center backs were getting set piece goals. Danilo, Bremer, Gatti,
all of them
Rugani,
ate. They
like
ate.
all of them. They were, and that was in it. Part of it, it's 1, 2, 3 is a fluke. When you're getting 8 like that, it's by design, and that was the design. Hit the counter, get a set piece, and then bury them by the set piece because we had height. That's what the player personnel was. With this, there's time, right? Time is warranted. However, from the initial look at this, because can we say, are we past maybe the quarter mark at this point? Are we a quarter into it? Maybe, maybe
games?
not.
Sorry, I'm not a mathematician, and I don't know
Yeah,
how
it's a
many,
it's a quarter.
Yeah,
8 games
eight
out of
games, it's a
38.
quarter.
Yeah.
So roughly about a quarter. I'm not seeing anything here. I'm not seeing something where I'm like, okay, they're starting to get it. This is starting to work. I see two different products. I see the product that Coop is on the field, and I see the product when Coop is not on the field. But from a systematic approach, and I'm sure maybe Misak sees something different, and I wish I could have him here and talk to him about it. But overall, on a systematic approach, I have not seen a different tactical approach to the games. I haven't seen, let's cut this off, let's adjust this, let's do this, let's do that. It's
The only
let's play
time
keep
is,
away.
it's when we went down a man. That was the only time that we showed anything really that really
How
got
much
me
of that?
excited.
But how much of that was fuck it, make something stick instead of okay, this is how we're gonna do stuff.
It was that desperation because they're like, we have to. Let's just fucking throw shit in the wind and see if it sticks. And that's what we need more of. We just need that. Let's just go out and play some footy.
I'm concerned. Part of me is concerned that Mota could be similar to what Pioli does. Oh, that's funny. He said that too. Because like for example, Pioli was pragmatic, but Pioli was kind of like, hey, let's keep it around if we can get it out, because that was Pioli's issue. Was Pioli was the same throughout his entire tenure at Milan. The only difference is personnel changed, injuries, and he just couldn't overcome it for the most part. So it's just like I look at it and it's like, okay, last season pragmatism at Bologna, it works. He's able to do this. Not that many people were able to figure out a way to counter it. And then it's like, okay, great. He comes to Juve. Similar pragmatism. I think at Juve more conservative than he was at Bologna. So I think that's again partially him being at Juve, which is pressure. There's the pressure there, but I was on the train when we were saying back then, be careful what you wish for. You guys keep thinking this offensive ball playing this goose, carrying the ball and moving around with it. It's not the case. It was always when you were the manager of Juventus, you were always going to play pragmatic. But the issue is there's pragmatic with purpose and there's pragmatic without any purpose. And right now I'm seeing pragmatic without any purpose.
All right. I mean, I didn't think there was that much to talk about it, but Dash got angry. You're the one, man. I love it when it's not me, and I can just continue to bask in this Ferrari one too.
Honestly, you know me. I'm never opposed to a beautiful, dirty 1-0 win. Like I love those, man.
Of course.
Like in the end, we got the 3 points, and yes, also that even though it was an
I'm
own
happy,
goal,
yeah.
like it's still like happened because we put pressure on them. Like even though we didn't have that pass that cut the defense open, like we still had put the pressure on them to force a mistake, and that is a talent of itself to do that. But yeah, man, like honestly, I'm not too worried. I want to see our squad fit, and I think it will flourish. Like they need time together. We are still forgetting like it's a whole damn new team, a whole new offensive concept. Like, and yes, I agree. We are trying to mask stuff defensively as well. That's why we aren't playing like with fireworks. But I think it will all happen, man. It's not a coincidence. Like best defense in Europe so far, also by XG allowed. Like not only that we conceded a goal, like we have the best XG in like for conceded goals, like in whole of Europe, I believe by 3 or 4 expected goals. And honestly, that is incredible. And yeah, I think offense will get figured out. Like if you have a stable platform, which we will have, you can build on top of that. And I think we will. Like we got the most important stuff on point, and it will happen. I'm not too worried. Right? I'm not even. And maybe we can segue into it. I'm not too worried about Stuttgart. Stuttgart, sorry, I'm German.
Well, before we do Stuttgart,
Right.
there I do want to just bring up because it's Lazio related, and we have to do it because it's a theme. It's something we do. It's like clockwork. Dash bitches
refs.
about Dusan. I bitch about refs. So
I didn't today though. So that's a first.
you brought up Chiesa in lieu of, anyways. So here we have Lazio furious at VAR after defeat. Juventus do not need these gifts. Quoted. Basic and that was like slightly taken out of context. What he was saying is that Juventus don't need these gifts to win games. They're a good enough team. That's more so what he was saying. But I 100% agree. We mentioned it there with Dougie Luiz. And this is it right here. Lazio blame VAR for lack of uniformity. They're not necessarily complaining about this call or that call. It's that why was this one called, whereas this one wasn't? And in this game over here, something completely different happened. It's what we've been saying every single week. The clubs finally are starting to say something about it. And Lazio is in every right to bitch about it. Am I happy this week that it went in our favor? Sure. That's not the way I want to win a game. I want to win it fairly and dominantly. But enough games have gone the other direction that I'm taking it. I'm taking it when it comes to
it levels out. Like at some point, it levels out. Yeah.
But we shouldn't have to let it level out. It should just be it should just be done right.
Yeah. No, it absolutely should. Did anybody watch Arsenal yesterday?
Yep. Best team in the Premier League.
So that red card that Saliba conceded. Was that for you a red card, or was there way too much space still for it to be a red card?
I still think it was.
So, and you watched Liverpool today. That foul by was it Tosin Adrabayo or whoever fouled Diogo Jota on the center line. 100% carbon copy of what Saliba yesterday was sent off for. This should have been a red as well, in my opinion. Like if that one yesterday on Saliba is a red card, this one should have been as well. And it's crazy, like how referees that are briefed by the leagues themselves. It's happening in England. The German referees are briefed by the German referees and by the German Football Federation, and the same in Italy. Like they get briefed on that stuff. They watch videotape. I don't understand how you can be that consistent, like on a game-to-game basis and referee-to-referee basis. That is aggravating.
It is because it's almost like, do these referees not talk?
They don't. It looks like they don't talk to each other. They don't debrief the games of the other refs. And I forgot who it was today. One English pundit. I'm sorry, I forgot his name. But he said referees have to be professional referees, and like it has to be their number one job. Like yes, there are referees that are policemen and God knows what, but have them honestly be professional referees, have this as their first job. Oh, thank you. Hey, you found that.
Could you explain this a little bit better? Put into some context.
No, red cards. Both instances. Both instances are red cards. Both instances. So sorry.
It was a long ball from the defense or from the goalkeeper towards. In that case, I forgot who it was for Bournemouth on the picture down below. But on the first one, it was Diogo Jota, who was about to receive a long ball from Van Dijk, I believe, if I'm correct, or Konate. I'm sorry, and he got held on the center line. And the exact same thing happened yesterday at Arsenal. Saliba had the offensive player that received a long ball, and it was yesterday deemed a red card because that player would have been through for a 1v1 versus the goalkeeper. So yesterday it was a red card, and today exact same situation, and it was just a yellow card.
The issue here, and this is where I'm going to try to play the referee. Well, the other Chelsea defender is right there by him, or that's why we, or like for example, it doesn't make sense. Like none of this makes sense. I can't even make a case for the referee here. Both instances are red cards. If you are obstructing,
both a red card.
They should be the way I'm looking at that. Yeah, it's last man back. You take them
the
down.
rule is, and this is where I'm irritated because this should be black or white. Black
Yes,
and white.
exactly. There shouldn't be gray area to
There
this.
isn't a gray area to this. If you are obstructing a clear goal scoring opportunity, or if you are the last defender and you are fouling a player, it is designated as an automatic red card. There is no, it's a yellow. The only time is if it's a yellow, if your other defender is right next to you laterally, is when you can potentially give it as a yellow.
And by the way, on the Liverpool versus Chelsea picture, like he's already on the ground. Like that situation happened way earlier, and that's why the second defender caught up to the situation. Like he was 10 yards. He was still 10 yards away.
Yeah.
Like that defender wasn't getting close to Jota if Jota like went through.
They're both pretty similar from not have seen either one and looking at this. This is pretty much the same.
Dude, go into the highlights. Like you guys in the chat, go into the highlights and watch the situations like in real time. Honestly, they're exactly the same situation.
Because I'm watching the linesman, and unless there's some other player that's level with the linesman,
No,
that's because that's
nobody.
my only thing. Because like I'm looking at the shot, and it's just I don't understand this quite well.
He was both instances. They were the last man. There was no defender like on the line with the linesman. There was nobody.
You can see the linesman. It's this yellow blob on the bottom picture.
That linesman did not do a good job there.
No,
because the linesman's supposed to either, unless the ball was moved and the linesman's following the ball, but
maybe it's hard in a freeze frame to. Let's not break down the linesman too much, but
but the play in itself, it's crazy how like it literally happened yesterday. Like the referees should have been briefed about situations like that. Like, oh my.
Well, maybe they were, and that's why the call changed.
Hey, and you will see. I was just going to say like, look, that referee yesterday wouldn't have made that call if it wasn't briefed that is a red card. So either they will try to save their ass and say, "Oh no, that first situation is not something we deem a red card, and that's why we called it correctly today as a yellow." Do they float whatever the bots say?
German Dave, what minute was it again? I'm gonna see if I can watch it again in
Liverpool Chelsea in the sometime in the first half. Still, I believe it was still 0-0. I believe at that point.
Because I want to see if I can find it and watch it in real time again.
I think it was still 0-0, and
was it a yellow card?
It was a yellow card, yeah.
Yeah, it's just check.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna look at FOTMob because I want to watch it live time real quick and see if I can do some deductive reasoning here.
At the end of the day, though, whether we break down this call, what happened Juve Lazio, what happened Juve Cagliari, we can break down almost Milan. I think that was a bit more clear cut though. But regardless, it's bad. It's getting bad when there's this many cameras on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta do better. It's embarrassing. And right at the top, I know it's hard to say, but the original poster here saying, "I'm so tired of the inconsistent refereeing in supposedly the best league in the world."
Best league in the world, my ass.
Okay. This is now Arsenal, the account.
I'm watching this. It's the 5th minute, and 100% I'm watching this in real time. Two things. One,
what was it that early? Crazy.
Oh yeah. It's 100% a red card.
Do you think I can put the clip on and move it back and forth with the arrow keys.
I can let me work the magic here. I can do the still image magic.
Because
we get hit. So they're so petty. These guys, they won't even let us like still frame. They keep on like giving us these. Got to cut things out because these guys. You know what?
This is a live stream exclusive.
You know
live
what?
Stream exclusive. I'll just leave it at that. Live stream exclusive. Okay.
Yeah, it might get cut depending what this is.
Yeah. So if you're one of the reasons to watch us live, you get to see us plagiarize. Okay, so 543. So it's right here. Ball's in the air. He's the only defender. So that's Jota. Those are all Chelsea players. This guy's nowhere near this.
Yes. Yep.
So it's like you look at that again. He's clearly obstructing him. And then if he's not touching Jota, because the ball practically falls right. He didn't even need to foul him.
It would have been perfect. Like a perfect long ball.
Yeah, he doesn't, because the issue is here. There's two things either you could have done. Either A, you don't blow the whistle, or B, you give a straight red card. There is no in between. Because, like, for example, I can understand the argument for not giving the foul. Because the argument would be, okay, they're both going for the ball's in the air, they're not really physically seeing where each other are.
Sorry, but there's no, like, it's 100% a foul. And if you call that foul, it's a red.
You got to play with me here.
I do have another
There's two paths. There's two paths you can go with this. It's either, again, I'm saying from a referee's perspective, their interpretation, it's a 50-50 ball in the air. They're wrestling and tussling with each other. I'm just going to let the players play. That's one way to do it. I'm not saying that's correct. I'm saying that's one way to do it. Or the second way is defender clearly inhibited the attacker in a clear goal scoring opportunity. Red card. There is no interpretation. Is that a clear goal scoring opportunity or not? There is no, it kind of is. Because look, you essentially, Liverpool start a counterattack here because all of Chelsea's players are playing deep. And that's what she said. So that ball gets launched, and then he grabs Jota and trips him here. It's either a red card or no foul. And I'm more than likely leaning on red card.
And here, I'll show this angle too. So here's the ball. Can't quite see it yet. There's
you got the video because here I got the video as well.
You got to be careful because it's showing the scoreboard. That's where you have to pause it, play it, pause it, play it. That's where they're dinging us, where it says, live USA and then the scoreboard.
Men in Blazers. What I don't know what that overlay is, but yeah, I mean that's. Oh, and they're showing. They're actually showing the bottom, the other game too, the Bournemouth game.
Here's the irony of that too, is that the Chelsea one looked more of a foul than the Bournemouth one. Because the Chelsea player literally puts his leg in front of him. Where like here, Saliba doesn't really do much.
Yeah, he held him a bit, and the strike, I believe it's Evan Nilsson, if I'm correct, like dropped immediately. So
yeah,
made
no,
it worse.
I understand, but I'm saying, like, for example, the Chelsea player put more contact than Saliba did.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. And by the way, he may have fractured Diogo Jota's rib because he fell with all his weight on top of him, like on his chest.
All the weight on his chest.
Welcome to our world, you EPL cunts.
Oh, we all suffer of it. We all suffer. All right. So let's get prepared for Stuttgart. Stuttgart? Am I saying it right?
Yes. Stuttgart. Yes. That was nice.
Go to Germany.
Stuttgart. We're going to your Stuttgart. We are going to take very good care of it.
Okay, so this should be, you would think, an easier game than Leipzig, but I'm not too sure if it is.
No, we got the Serie A boost against Germany. Sorry, Italy advantage over German clubs.
No, so the thing with Stuttgart is they have a very explosive offense, but if you are able to contest their offense and have a stable defense, you can counter on them like very easily. They're not good defensively. They're honestly a copy of the Zerbi ball. And like if you have a stable defense and don't fall into their games and try to make it explosive fireworks. Because for example, did anybody watch the Real Madrid versus Stuttgart game? Like the only reason why Stuttgart held up the first hour of the game was because Real Madrid was playing that game as well. Like Stuttgart was playing quickly through the midfield, like get those through balls and everything. And Real tried to do the same. When they finally beat Stuttgart was when they slowed the game down. When they didn't give Stuttgart those the opportunities to win the ball back high and to put pressure on Madrid. Because in a normal build-up, when you are sitting a bit deeper, you're not pressing high and you don't give them the holes they can run through. Like it's very difficult for them to score and to break down a low block, ironically. So if you have a stable defensive platform, because they are pushing that high, you can catch them out very easily. And that's what Bayern did today, honestly. Like they tried to play that exact same style, and Bayern had the speed on the wings, and honestly, a 25-meter goal like by Harry Kane that finally got through. But after that, like they were like Swiss cheese defensively. Yeah, so if you have a stable defensive platform, they don't have. Yes, they had Dennis Undav is nice. Demirovic and Vlad knows I like him. Like they have two very good strikers. But if you play yeah, like defensively stable and cut off the service to them, like they will not score. They will not score on you, honestly, and that gives you the opportunity to counter on them. That's why I'm
So
not too worried. Like they're like how Stuttgart is playing is to our advantage because it is the exact style we are playing as well.
1-0.
0-0.
2-1, I believe. 2-1. I think we
2
will
and
score.
you think they're going to score as well?
Yeah, I think one will go through. Like it's the Champions League, one will go through. But I think it will be a 2-0 lead, and then they will score like one.
We get lazy and let one in.
Yeah.
Give a sweaty one up to them.
Okay. Well, I mean, you would know best.
And it's in Turin. Stuttgart fans will be loud because like lots of them travel, and they are very loud in away games, and they travel a lot of them travel. But I think it's like we play the type of football that can that is effective against a team like that.
Unless they decide to pull a low block out of nowhere.
No, they don't. It's not. And honestly, I'm sorry to say it, but it's not in their capabilities. That's why they try to overcompensate with offense.
They ain't got the facilities for that, big man.
Speaking of overcompensations, sort of like a certain Lando Norris today, not giving back his position.
Ooh, Petty.
Oh, damn.
Before we get into the F1, though, I do have to say, Dave, I noticed you have our second kit, the one that I thought you hated.
I hated it. I didn't buy it. It was a gift for my 30th birthday.
Oh, look at that! It's got David 30. That's so cute.
Aww.
That's why I'm wearing it.
Okay, the old lady give it to you?
No, my brother and my sister, my lady gave me something different.
They did the second one because they knew that was the uglier one, so they're like, yeah.
They knew I had the first one, and the third kit is completely sold out everywhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'll give you that. All right, KF coming in. Ciao, lads. How's it going? What's up, my man? Nice to see you.
By the way, the link is in the chat, man. Jump in, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. It's there. Otherwise, we're just going to waffle on for a few more minutes. Anything else we need to really recap with Stuttgart?
Just get through that match healthy. That's it.
Get through, and then enter Derby.
That's honestly the main thing. Get through that match healthy. That's
Guys,
the biggest thing.
I'm taking the day off, not working. I'm gonna be here. We're gonna do the live watch along like we always do, but without crazy rushing home from work, Dave. It's gonna be chill, Dave. It's gonna be good.
Smoking a bowl, Dave.
Yep.
High out of my goddamn mind, Dave.
Some big fatties. You gonna be there?
I will come home from work early, and I'll be there as well, and we will have some fun, man.
Okay, no pulling over this
Smoke some bowls.
No, I'm good. I cleared my schedule and everything.
Okay, right on.
Should go.
It'll be good. I'm excited. I'm excited for Tuesday. This is good. Breaks up the week as well.
Daylight savings.
That's November. Isn't it November?
No, next week.
In Europe it is.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we go 2 weeks after.
Yeah, because Juve enters at 1:00 on a Sunday.
Yeah, everything ships for a couple weeks.
Wednesday at 3:45 against Parma, 1 p.m. against Verona, and then I believe we're back. Yeah, we're back to normal.
So that's next coming week, really 2 big games, Champions League and the Derby. We're here for it. What's also coming in hot is more F1. Maybe I did have it, and then of course I had to restart my computer because I had my technical issues.
That's why it's because of his Ferrari drip that his camera overheated so goddamn fast.
It was so hot,
That outfit's fire, man.
God, the camera was sweating, and it was not that because if you haven't noticed, we've upgraded to 4K, but.
Not that it really matters if my camera just overheats.
No, his camera's just like 4K. Fuck that, I'm out.
I think my camera is still set up for 720p, I believe. I didn't even make the switch to 1080, I believe.
You fucking
I can set it up for 1080, I believe, like on my PC, but yeah.
Gotta always go max. More extra. Okay, so quickly, here are the points right now. Verstappen actually continues his lead over Norris at 297, but look at Mr. Charles Leclerc, only 34 points back from Norris himself. So that's super tight. And then Piastri, Sainz, they're all right there. Shit's getting crazy. And if we go to the constructors, only 40 points between McLaren and Red Bull, and then only 50 points to Ferrari. It's on. There's 5 races left. It's on, man. This is insane. This is F1 at its best. It is 100% on.
I think barring a catastrophic drop off, I think McLaren locks the constructors.
We just don't know though. Like everything, like if you look at the performance charts, the point charts throughout the season, the reason
why I was saying that was because, like, for example, like right now, like Mercedes is completely falling off a cliff. Like Hamilton essentially just crashing into the wall during qualifying and whatnot. It's just it.
Vlad wants me to explain this in Serie A terms. It's like you're 5 points back with 5 games left.
Would it be 5 points back?
Similar. I don't know. What do you got? You got a better one?
5 points back with 5 games left?
Or like 4 points. It's like 4 or 5 points back to 5.
4 points. I think
4 points back. Okay, yeah. 4 points back with 5 games left.
No, the correct term would be like last game you were 4 points away, and now because Max finished ahead of Norris, we are again like 7 points behind or something like that.
But it's tight. It's tight. It's all within a game or two. Yep. You know, that's what we're talking. So there's 5 races left of the 24. 2 more sprints. So those are that was a sprint weekend as well. So Ferrari, come on, doing a 2-4 in the sprint and a 1-2 in the Grand Prix. That's why I'm dripping today, guys.
Hey, Dave, what I think the most interesting thing that happened this weekend is that Ferrari finally set their car up for a race and decided against setting the car up for qualifying. And they had the ultimate race pace.
Yeah, well, they had 2 races essentially to go through it, and they almost got maximum points, really.
Rare Ferrari W.
A rare Ferrari. Come on.
No, hey, honestly, the last in the last spell, Ferrari was perfect, like strategically, cars getting better again, upgrades work. Like Ferrari is doing really well, and it gives me like a bit hope for next season.
And they're the only team, along with was it Williams, that didn't bring upgrades this weekend. So they just stayed cool. They're like, no man, we got this.
Yeah.
So what does
And
that
by
say?
the way, congratulations to Lance Stroll for having the longest spell in history of Formula One without getting a fastest lap.
I didn't know that was a stat.
Oh, Daddy's money.
It is now. Oh man.
Oh wow, that's actually kind of funny. My Canadian boy. Daddy's money.
No, F1 is really interesting. I was just hoping that Lando will finish ahead of Max, but you always know, like, you can't like if you don't start in front of him. And by the way, Lando did and fucked his startup again.
I think he's overrated.
Lando?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he's overrated.
I think he's properly rated because, like, he has the talent, but I think all of us agree that he doesn't have like that killer instinct.
He's just a George Russell in an orange car. That's all he is.
I think he just has a fast car. Like, I think he just has a faster car. That's why he is in the position that he's in.
I mean, he's for example, good, but Piastri's going to be the number one. He's going to.
If you put but think about it, right? If you put Hamilton in that situation, right? Or like, for example, if you give Hamilton the McLaren car, I think Hamilton doesn't fumble as much as Lando.
Hamilton is a bad example this weekend, but usually I agree.
No. I mean, overall,
Hamilton did win a championship with McLaren, so he did do it.
He did. Yep. Yep.
So it's just like, that's where I'm sitting there. Like, hell, I think if you put Leclerc in that car, I think Leclerc does better than Lando.
Yeah. Oh, Leclerc's like, I think Leclerc's underrated. He's still very highly rated, but I think he's slightly underrated for where he should be.
Because, like, for example, I see the races, like, for example, if Leclerc starts pole and has to hold pole, he'll hold it.
Oh, no, you're wrong. You're wrong, my brother. Leclerc has hold up there.
Unless it's a street track, besides Monaco.
No. Hold up.
He's going to take out another stat.
Poor Leclerc is the wrong example for pole positions converted into the wins, because he has the highest percentage of pole positions that he didn't convert into a win in F1 history.
But he didn't have the car. Come on, that's comparing. But that
is down to Red Bull being just the Death Star and overtaking
disingenuous.
a little, but still. Like,
yeah, but that was last season, right? That was last season.
Yeah.
If you're looking at recent form, where the cars are sitting right now, which are pretty much, it comes down. Honestly, Ferrari, they weren't necessarily faster. They just had better tire degradation. That's what this is all coming down to. The cars are all just as fast as each other. It's coming down to individual drivers and how well they take care of their tires.
I just saw Patrick Mahomes shoulder check a linebacker and he dropped him.
Nice.
He needs to get tested.
Back to the NFL. We're just flip-flopping now.
I'm sorry. No, it's just that I had the Chiefs-Niners game out in the corner of my eye on my other monitor, and I see Patrick Mahomes quarterback scramble or draw and just like checks. It wasn't Warner, but he checked either it was a safety or a linebacker. Just like legit drops his shoulder and plants him.
Still, the Niners defenders are physical specimens. Like if he actually like checks him, like
no, he like dropped him.
What's the score in the game?
It's 21-12.
Damn.
Let me put on some.
Damn, bro.
God, Mahomes just fucking trucked him.
You're gonna get me.
Could you imagine getting trucked by a guy that sounds like Kermit the Frog? Hey there, man! I just trucked you into the ground. How does that feel?
Hey, but Mahomes got that butt strength, man. So.
Yeah, because he's got to deal with Brittany Mahomes. He just rage lifts.
Oh, what's she like?
Oh, bad.
Don't go down that rabbit hole.
No.
Brittany,
don't go down that rabbit hole.
Brittany.
Oh no, he's going there. He's going there. You made him
midstream. He's
Dave. Whatever you do, don't listen to her voice.
Oh no, he shared it. God damn it! The most hated person in all of NFL.
She's a soccer player.
No. His brother's the most hated person in the NFL.
Yeah, but he's a rapist now, so like he's in jail he's on trial for that allegedly.
Well then, So, I mean, is she just too much of a dumb blonde, or?
Yes,
Yep.
very,
Yep.
very dumb. Extremely dumb.
I mean, she looks good.
Like Marie Antoinette.
Oh wow! Look at you go.
Okay, David. All right,
Dude, that is maybe the only flattering photo of her.
yeah. Like gosh, the champagne. I feel bad for you because she was annoying when the Eagles and the Chiefs played on that Super Bowl.
Oh my God, don't get
You had one job. Your Eagles had one job.
Okay, I see the crazy.
Dude, Dash, what should I do when my quarterback plays a goddamn nearly 400-yard passing game and then fumbles in close to our
You wanna
own
know
end
why?
zone,
Because
man.
you had C.J. Gardner-Johnson, the worst safety in the NFL, and apparently he can't tackle for shit.
Hey, even you guys didn't want him.
No, because you want to know the game against the Niners. Guess what? He tries to tackle McCaffrey, whiffs it.
Dude,
C.J. Gardner-Johnson is
it's crazy.
terrible.
It's crazy how Howie Roseman went into the last offseason and said, "Yeah, man,
bring him back."
that free agent is what we need for he's the last puzzle piece to our defense." Oh my God.
Lord. And he
Oh
was
my
talking
God.
shit about y'all, and he left. And then he's like, "Oh,
Dude,
I didn't say
he's
nothing."
talking trash to everybody. He's just talking, man. Oh my God.
He's
And
terrible.
Darius Slay, don't get me started on Darius Slay. Oh my God.
He's in the
Big play slay my ass, man. Take that out of context.
with all the
you,
ditty.
you want him to slay your ass? What?
Oh my God.
What is happening?
No, nothing. That's all good.
Keep it in your pants.
I'm just angry.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson is like Doosan. I'll leave it at that.
Bit of a tease.
No. Garbage but
Damn,
shit talk.
is Dave still looking through Brittany Mahomes?
but does he have the moves?
Oh my God. Oh man.
The gift that keeps on giving, Dusan Vlahovic.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'll miss if he gets sent away. If he leaves Juve, that's the one thing I'll miss.
Hey, there are teams that still need strikers, so I wouldn't mind it.
I hear Arsenal's
it helped that he scored the penalties the last couple of games because it keeps his goal tally up. So I don't mind.
Keep that price up.
Yep.
He's just guy on the ground crying.
I'm just hoping that Vlahovic is doing just enough for us to earn like 50 million or something.
To sell him so we buy Moise Keane back.
30 million again.
I never wanted him to leave. I mean, if Milik was healthy, I think he would have been the one that sold at the end of the day.
Oh my God.
Oh man, fuck, we have no strikers.
Nope, we got nothing. We got
gentleman.
We didn't even get our wingers fit, man.
Shall we call this one a do?
Yeah, me as well.
You guys
Sunday
have
night.
No,
I think. I mean, I'm just gonna go celebrate and
take a fat dump, smoke a bowl.
Watch more of Brittany Mahomes.
Dude, if you stumble on Brittany Mahomes' TikTok, you'll know why most people hate her.
Oh my God, why are you helping him?
I'm not going on TikTok.
Well, he's not going to because he hates China, as it is said.
It's huge.
We have. I know, that's how you know he's petty. Now, because of the comment that she made during the debate about his rallies, every time he mentions rallies, he's like, I was speaking at a rally, which, by the way, we have the best rallies. Lots of people show up to the rallies. It's always full. Great rallies. Like, he always drops that. If you listen to any of his podcast interviews, the moment he talks about rallies, he stops. He's like,
Dude,
we have
crazy.
the best rallies. We have lots of peoples at our rallies. Everyone has a good time.
Dude, it's crazy. Like in a couple of the rallies, where he had people that are close to the KKK, and he was saying, in this rally we had some of the greatest people ever. They were amazing.
When is your election, anyways? How long do we have to wait for this? November
5th. So about
yeah.
25 days.
Oh, it's close. It's close.
It's close.
All right. Can't wait.
Orange man or a cackling idiot? Trying to pick your poison.
Well, it's great because F1's going to take another little break there just in time for me to divert my attention to the American politics.
Oh gosh,
I'm not.
Here's the thing. I am utterly disappointed in the millennial generation because good Lord, you guys could not come up with talented people because we have old fucks and the best. Like, seriously, this is what this election is. It's a boomer versus a millennial. Neither of them are good. Like,
how old is
neither
Kamala?
of them are good. She's like 50 something.
That's not a millennial. She's a little old.
She's not a baby boomer.
No, too young. It's like Gen X. I don't know. It's all dumb, but
yeah, it's baby boomer. And
I don't understand those gens anyway.
Because I'm a millennial and we're dumb as fuck,
dude. Like, I'm sorry, but like I was like trying to listen to the interview she did on Fox, and she couldn't even answer a question. I'm like, dude, just say the fucking question. But
all right, Dash.
Good
gonna
Lord.
have to.
Oh, there.
Yeah, Gen X. See, Vlad knows. And you know what?
Is
For
she?
Vlad, just for Vlad, because we always do this.
Oh,
you just wake up and then your heart is just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so those moments are crazy.
You have to also pronounce it correctly. It's Kamala. Not Kamala. It's Kamala.
Doesn't she change it every week how it's pronounced?
It's whatever voter base she's trying to appeal to. But yeah.
Well, the reasons why we get canceled. All right, so you don't get canceled per se over that, but
we don't get canceled. We have the best cancelings here. We have lots of people that watch our canceling.
What do you mean millennials are overrated? Everyone hates millennials.
No, millennials and baby boomers suck. They're the root of all of our problems.
Everyone hates millennials because at least boomer. No, there's just
no. Baby boomers do not. They catch most of this strays. The millennials just catch the shrapnel.
They both suck.
No, they both do. But the problem is like baby boomers gave birth to the issues that the millennials have, and the millennials are stupid and they can't transition out of it. And then what happens is you have the later generations looking at millennials like, wow, you guys
that all they're doing is transitioning.
Oof. You said it on me, but yeah, and then you have like the other generations. Yeah, they're dumb, but they're looking at it and like, okay, we're dumb, but we're not that dumb.
Everyone's dumb. We're all dumb. You, me, everyone. We're all idiots. All right. On that note, I'm gonna go be an idiot somewhere else.
And be an idiot in the real world out there.
Oh man. Okay, I guess I'll watch Patrick Mahomes maybe here tonight.
I'm trying. If it's 24-12, I'm not interested in the game.
21-12.
21-12.
21-12, sorry.
Quarter. I'm trying to be more American.
Oh, fourth quarter? Oh, the rest will win the game.
I do have to wear my NASCAR shirt one of these days just for the lulz.
You got to come in with a Bush Light trucker hat.
Oh man.
He's like, I'm more American than Dash is. Look at me in my trucker hat, drinking me in this Bush Light here, watching these cars go wee round.
Guarantee I could be.
We didn't have our obligatory food talk. Dash, what dough did you
obligatory? Oh, it's not obligatory.
No, I had to make pizza dough. Pizza dough.
Oh, pizza dough.
Pizza dough? What's a pizza dough?
Pizza dough. Like dough for pizza.
The dough looked fluffy, man.
Oh, that bitch was fluffy as hell. You want to know what I use?
I like a good fluff.
It's just yeast, and sugar and salt.
Did you do the 20-gram American sugar pizza or the 2-gram Italian way?
No, the Italian way.
The
pizza sauce. Well, I made pizza sauce. So like the pizza sauce is like it's a hell of a concoction. Like it's like it's the sauce base itself, water, oregano, basil, parsley, salt, sugar, black pepper. It's just one big concoction of stuff.
Yeah, Italians would have already cried because it's more than basil in there.
Yeah, you really don't need much. And I was gonna say the Italian dough doesn't have sugar either. No
I
sugar.
disagree.
they don't.
I disagree. That's why it tastes dry and bland. I'm sorry, Italian dough and Italian sauce tastes super
Oh
dry.
my god, dude! Oh my god, I
No,
think
it
Italian
does.
pizza is amazing.
It's
Oh my
about
god.
how fresh the
I don't
sauce
like it.
is, though. That's what it is. It's
I,
like you actually taste the tomatoes.
Yeah, it's
I-
depending on the tomatoes there. Yeah, that's right.
I went to this place, Joe's Pizza. It's an Italian spot, Italian pizzeria. Tried their margarita. Their margarita, like the base was just so bad. I was just
Again,
like,
if
no.
you don't have nice fresh tomatoes for the sauce, it's
Yeah.
kind of and the basil.
You
No,
have
they
have
right.
marinara is you have to balance the marinara properly. The marinara is it's a very dry, very bitter sauce. You have to balance it properly to compensate for it. Because if you're just throwing in marinara with balsamic vinaigrette, it is saltier than my wife. No, I'm just kidding. But it is just a concoction of pure bitterness and salt.
Have you
No,
tried it in the shower?
And in this case, I
It didn't.
actually
It gripped
agree
too
with
hard.
Dave. Like if you get the nice, beautiful like San Marzano tomatoes, like those are like sweet enough that you don't need
Yeah, you need
the sugar.
Yeah, that's what you
Like
need. You need.
if you get the best ones, they are sweet enough to balance
you have
Yeah.
the slowness.
You have to understand though that in North America, the tomatoes we get are trash.
They're genetically engineered in a lab.
They taste like
then
nothing.
then I understand the sugar part.
And the acidity too. That's why you put sugar in, is to cut the acidity. Because it really is. Unless you go and spend like $5 on a can of tomato sauce, like you're getting just trash.
Oh, dude, we have very nice San Marzano tomatoes, like for €2 from the can. Dude, they are amazing.
Yeah, that's like the $5 can. I just grew.
Yeah.
My wife grew a bunch, and I just that's what I was doing yesterday. Did another batch, but even then, man, you need so many tomatoes to make a jar of sauce.
Yeah, that's right.
Need a lot of
And
ketchup.
tomatoes have become expensive, man. Like in Europe.
And Vlad, shut your hole about ketchup. Come on, man.
The ketchup is there.
They saw not enough of ketchup in the past weeks and months.
I haven't had ketchup since. Yeah, like no, fuck that.
No wonder. By the way, when I watched that video, it looked like you were too much into it, like somehow.
I was not in. Fuck you.
You said your bread is trash as well, so I've heard.
Damn, we went in there with the finger and everything.
I know.
Yeah, and the bread here is trash. It's not actually bread. It's something else.
Made in a lab.
Yeah, mostly sugar as well.
Good Lord, Brock Purdy sucks ass.
Yeah, there's a San Francisco touchdown.
That's not a touchdown.
No, you didn't get a touchdown.
That's
that was an interception.
Oh my god, did he throw a pick? Oh my god.
Oh, he does
my
suck.
God.
I don't know. I was just looking over.
I was wondering because they're just, oh my god, he sucks ass, and Dave, oh, that's a touchdown. Oh, he threw a pick.
They're both wearing red and white. And when you just glance over, they're the same team. Come on.
Good Lord, who the fuck was he throwing that to?
Oh my god, I can only imagine already the talk shows on ESPN and FS1 tomorrow. Is Brock Purdy not ready? Oh.
No, he never was good. It was just Shanahan's system. Now that everyone figured out, San Francisco was about to be 3-4,
and having George Kittle, Deebo Samuel,
Christian McCaffrey,
Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey.
Shit, at least Jared, for example, at least with Jared Goff, today he was making some insane freaking throws.
Good, we all know Goff is capable of those throws if he doesn't throw to the opponent.
Was the 49ers supposed to be one of those teams that was going to be good this year?
Yeah.
It was them and the Lions.
Should. Yeah. The Niners, by the way, who lost the Super Bowl to Kansas City last season, were the favorites, going into the season. The betting favorites.
I think Lions were right after them too.
Yep.
But yeah,
weren't the Packers above the Lions?
No, the Packers were close. But I still don't see what they see in the Packers. For me, the Packers are just like the Vikings. They haven't played anyone crazy good, and I think they're just overrated.
But also, I don't trust Jordan Love as well.
And who names their team the Packers? What are they packing?
Cheese.
Cheese.
They're the cheeseheads.
I'm sure it's not. It's a dumb name. I'm just gonna say it's a dumb name.
But by the way, who copied who? Like the Packers copied Georgia or vice versa?
For the logo?
Yeah.
No, I think Georgia copied the Packers.
That's true. That is the same thing. It's the G. All right, guys.
This is the same thing, different colors.
The same thing, different colors. You know what I found it funny too? The Macedonian flag.
The rising sun.
Yeah, buddy was just like, "Oh, so you like the Japanese flag?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Like the imperial Japanese flag, the old one." And I looked at it. I'm like, "Oh my god, is this
Oh,
thing?"
No.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That Japanese flag that we can't go.
Yamate kurasai.
I'm sorry, but it was a Macedonian that pointed it out to me.
Senpai.
Oh,
Dave
damn.
Senpai.
Damn, going back into the dark Japanese history there, man.
Jeez, Dave, you know a lot of people died with that flag.
No, but like I said, it was pointed out to me, and then it's the same thing.
Man,
Just
he
saying.
went there, Dash. He went there.
I'm just making parallels.
Dude,
Connections.
do you know those memes? Do you remember that time where Japan redesigned its flag and it was just
I'm just kidding. Just play the outro music.
and the Japanese sun was just a shade lighter.
It's dark times. They don't talk about those times.
Okay, well,
And also
Dave-
Bayern Munich redesigned their logo, by the way.
Because of that.
okay, that's a thing we yelled at last season because there's a lot of haters.
And what does he do?
All right, let's kill this one. I'm not here to.
Acknowledge me.
No yeet. All right, anyways. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See the German Dave and the Canadian Dave. Give them the yeetest of yeets on Tuesday for the watch along. And we'll pick things up and do some post-match analysis on Thursday. So we shall see you there. New folks subscribing, old folkies likey. Boom.
Put it away, Dash.
No.
Acknowledge your tribal YouTube channel.
Acknowledge the cheeks.